From sacred shadows to algorithmic showcases, how exhibition value shapes identity, markets, and agency in the digital age. It was Walter Benjamin, writing in the shadow of Europe's mid-century breakdown in 1935, who coined the term exhibition value, Ausstellungswert, in his seminal essay, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproducibility. Benjamin observed a historic shift in how human culture assigns worth to objects, where traditional art drew its sanctity from cult value and elusive ritualistic aura tied to a specific location, accessible only to the few who stood before the hidden altar. The modern machine age ripped the object from its sanctuary. Once an image or sound could be endlessly copied and distributed, its value no longer lay in its quiet, secluded presence, but in its capacity to be seen, displayed, and paraded before the public. When transferred to contemporary social media platforms, exhibition value ceases to be merely a trait of mechanical images and becomes the very currency of human identity. On these digital grounds, the ancient, quiet interiority of a person, what once resembled grain stored in a dark barn until needed, is continually dragged into the light to prove its worth. The individual becomes both the museum curator and the object inside the glass case. Here lies a stark paradox. To exist in the digital commons, one must transform the lived experience of suffering, joy, or daily labor into a visible artifact. Yet the moment a life is fully converted into exhibition value, the authentic marrow of that life is drained, leaving behind only a husk designed for public consumption. In captive markets, those walled gardens governed by platform monopolies and locked in digital ecosystems, exhibition value functions as a mandatory tool of extraction. In such spaces where buyers and sellers cannot easily escape the open air, product or service no longer competes on raw utility or hidden craftsmanship alone. Instead, its survival depends on its algorithmic legibility, its ability to flash brightly in digital storefront. The captive market demands that every vendor, artist, or worker endlessly exhibit their metrics, reviews, and credentials to earn a place at the stall. Production is thus reshaped not by what lasts through cold winters, but by what looks striking under the artificial lamps of the marketplace, forcing market actors to prioritize visual signal over structural substance. This dynamics radically alters how we search for and learn of a person. In days past, understanding a neighbor was a slow, tactile affair, gathered over seasons through direct speech, shared labor, and observable conduct. Today, the search for a person online is to inspect a curated ledger of their exhibition value, a public portrait assembled from fragments, posts, and recorded movements. We are tempted to believe that because we can instantly retrieve a complete archive of someone's visible outputs, we know them truly. Yet this is an illusion born of excess light. What we inspect is not the person, but their digital ghost, an optimized representation designed to survive the harsh scrutiny of the network. We learn the surface contours of their public displays while remaining entirely blind to the unexhibited depths that truly govern their character. Whether this unrelenting push towards exhibition value helps hold institutions accountable remains a deeply conflicted proposition. On one hand, forced exposure is a powerful scythe against entrenched power. Institutions long accustomed to operating in secretive, cultic, dark, where corrupt dealings lay hidden behind heavy wooden doors, are rendered vulnerable when their internal documents, public failures, or private hypocrisies are suddenly displayed to millions. The sheer visibility enabled by digital reproduction can mobilize swift collective outrage, forcing arrogant rulers to answer to the public square. On the other hand, a system built entirely on exhibition value possesses an insatiable capacity to neutralize the very critique aimed at it. When accountability is mediated by platforms that profit of raw attention, genuine institutional harm is frequently flattened into mere content, a transient spectacle to be scrolled past alongside advertisements and entertainment. The institution, skilled in the arts of modern public relations, quickly learns to offer performative transparency, issuing polished apologies and symbolic displays that satisfy the demand for exhibition without shifting a single stone of structural power. Sunlight, while a proven disinfectant, can also bake the earth so dry that nothing transformative can take root. Thus, exhibition value reveals itself as a double-edged tool. It frees us from the closed, authoritarian mysteries of the old sanctuaries, yet it threatens to leave us in a barren, sun-scourged landscape where nothing is permitted to rest in the dark soil of quiet, unobserved